Welcome to One Chapter, One Thought. I'm Pastor Chris from Lincroft Bible Church in New Jersey, and every weekday I read one chapter of the New Testament and offer one brief devotional thought. Today's reading is from the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3. I, brethren, could not speak to you like I could speak to spiritual men, but as men of the flesh, as infants in Christ. I gave you milk to drink, not solid food, for you are not able yet to receive it. Indeed, even now you are not yet able, for you are still fleshly. For since there is jealousy and strife among you, are you not fleshly? Are you not walking like mere men? For when one says, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos, are you not mere men? What then is Apollos? What is Paul? Servants, through whom you believed, even as the Lord gave opportunity to each one. I planted, Apollos watered, but God caused the growth. So then neither the one who plants or the one who waters is anything but God who causes the growth. Now, he who plants and he who waters are one, but each will receive his own reward according to his own labor, for we are God's fellow workers, and you are God's field, God's building. According to the grace of God, which was given to me, like a wise master builder, I laid a foundation, and another is building on it. But each man must be careful how he builds. For no man can lay a foundation other than the one which was laid, which is Jesus Christ. Now, if any man builds on the foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, straw, each man's work will become evident, for the day will show it, because it is to be revealed with fire. And the fire itself will test the quality of each man's work. If the man's work, which he has built on it, remains, he will receive a reward. But if any man's work is burned up, he will suffer loss, but he himself will be saved, yet as through fire. Do you not know that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? If any man destroys the temple of God, God will destroy him, for the temple of God is holy, and that is what you are. Let no man deceive himself. If anyone among you thinks that he is wise in this age, he must become foolish, so that he may become wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness before God, for it is written, He is the one who catches the wise in their craftiness, and again the Lord knows the reasonings of the wise, that they are useless. So then, let no one boast in men, for all things belong to you, whether Paul or Apollos or Cephas or the world or life or death or things present or things to come, all things belong to you, and you belong to Christ, and Christ belongs to God. One thought. One of the Apostle Paul's most talked about issues is unity. In Ephesians chapter 2, Paul talks about the unity between Jews and Gentiles, that many who are far off are brought near by the blood of Christ, and he has made one new man out of Jews and Gentiles. In Ephesians chapter 4, Paul says that we are to maintain the bond of unity. Furthermore, he goes on in Galatians chapter 5, he says, don't bite and devour one another, or you'll destroy one another. Don't be envious of one another, be united. And then in Romans 14 and 15, he talks about the weaker brother and the stronger brother being united in Christ, being able to bear with one another's differences in these things. We often don't think of disunity as a big deal, but the New Testament certainly does, especially disunity in the church. And we see that for Paul, disunity is evidence of the flesh, evidence that we are living like unredeemed people, like our old sinful self. He says, you are still fleshly. Right? Why are we still considered fleshly? Why does Paul consider the Corinthians still fleshly, still beholden to the sinful inclinations that they have? It says, because since there is jealousy and strife among you, are you not fleshly? Jealousy, strife is causing division. They're saying, I'm of Paul, I'm of Apollos. There's division in the body. It's creating factions. So what is Paul's antidote to division? Right? If division is such a big deal for Paul, and it should be for us as well, what is this antidote? Well, he gives them a big dose of humility. That's the antidote. He says, what's Apollos? What's Paul? We're mere servants. right? Like it's so easy. And again, remember, the human nature doesn't change very much. Just as today we are prone to tribalistic tendencies, right? And even in the church, like I listen to this podcast, I listen to that pastor and this sermon and that sermon, I follow this person on YouTube. Oh, they're such a spiritual guru, da 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 da, right? Like we faction ourselves off according to these spiritual teachers, and that is exactly what the Corinthians were doing too. The antidote is humility, recognizing that any of us who are pastors, any of us who are spiritual teachers, we're just servants of Christ. That's it. We have no special authority or power given to us except any that comes from Jesus himself, merely flowing through us. Apollos watered, Paul planted, but what? God gave the growth. So, where are you tempted towards disunity in the body? Where are you tempted to maybe favor one Bible teacher over another, or even just your own theological opinions over another, look down on others, create division? Our attitudes need to reflect a greater desire to have unity than division, because our attitudes need to reflect humility. Paul's warns us, right, that division is a characteristic of the flesh. But instead of being dominated by the old sinful self, which has been crucified with Christ, so we shouldn't allow it, we must walk by the Spirit and allowing Him to have an influence in our lives and allow the Spirit to work humility amongst us so that we can be one church.